died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot a gun. He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it. He did.
Oh, they better come now. Check this out. They fired me, but did it in a roundabout punk snitch way. So I caught them on the streets and beat they behinds. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I was a menace to them.
You on the intro to his album. That's when Tupac hit him. Pow. And then he started.
And Pac been fighting in the streets of LA since the early 90s.
I was his first AK, everybody. He came out, because if someone come up in here, wait. Woo! You saw that? Shot the floor in the...
While we rushing the stage, Tupac grabbed the mic stand, and he swinging that thing. Good. Everybody swing, everybody fighting. None of them was punks. But Tupac throwing chairs.
He dead now, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie, he dead.
If my shit is out here, I'm dropping it. And if he say something, I'm dropping his watch.
Vegas, believed to be in response to an earlier assault against someone affiliated with Death Row. The attack will land Death Row head Suge Knight.
To the shooting of 2 off-duty police officers last month, a preliminary hearing was held. Shakur looked on as one witness, Edward Fields, told the court he saw a profile of a man who looked like Shakur.
She saw my son shoot up a Mercedes-Benz.
I think it's tragic the way he was killed, but it's ironic he was killed the same way that he tried to kill me.
How do you respond, Scott, to the fact that when we said he wasn't charged, the audience actually applauded in this room?
Well,
Peace, family. We are back again. And today we'll be building on Jeff Pearlman and his book on Tupac, right? Right now, Jeff Pearlman has put out a book on Tupac titled Only God Can Judge Me. And he's on a promo press run. I seen him on the Fig Show, right? It's an LA podcast with T-Rail and the other guys. Then I seen him on All Up in Smoke, right? All the Smoke, whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? It's Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson show, right? And he's making his rounds through Black podcasts, and I'm kind of disappointed in these podcasts, but at the same time I'm not, right? Because you have to understand, and I say this all the time, many Black Americans do not know their own history, right? And when you don't know your own history, you don't know your icons outside of just, I know a couple songs and I know the music, and you haven't really dove into these type of artists, right? That you say you love, right? You got Matt Barnes got a tattoo of Tupac, yet he don't know much about Tupac. Obviously, to let a man come sit on his couch, and who wrote a book, and is going around making up lies about Tupac, right? Even if he is an author, many of his talking points that we have seen are just blatant lies. So it's either two things. It's either that he's going on a smear campaign for whatever reason to try to diminish Pac for whatever reason, or, he's an agent, right? We don't know. But for whatever reason, I want you to know how crazy it looks to have a Jewish white man, Jeff Pearlman, an author, sit down on Black podcasts, supposed to be hip hop or the culture type shows, and tell them about Tupac, a Black historical icon, right? You supposed to check him and correct him on his lies, but you can't correct anybody, right, when you don't know it yourself. So that's what we're going to be dealing with today, right? Jeff Pearlman has put out a book called Only God Can Judge Me, which was a Tupac quote, and this is the colonizer at work, right? This is the colonizer at work. Now, I first took my first issue with Jeff Pearlman when I read his book, The Three Ring Circus, during the pandemic, right? Because he was very, very nasty with the way he depicted Kobe Bryant, right? After his death, right? Kobe Bryant had just passed away. Jeff Pearlman dropped his book, and his book is very, very nasty towards Kobe Bryant. And I'm surprised he didn't get sued, right? He made Kobe look as selfish and, like nobody liked Kobe. And he waited till Kobe passed to really put this book out. So this guy is a colonizer, and he's trying to make money off Tupac's name while smearing him, and we ain't gonna stand for that. Not on my podcast, not on my YouTube channel. I don't care if I got 1,490 subscribers or I got 35,000 on Twitter. Right? We gonna fight back with the facts, and if you don't like it, give us a call, Jeff Pearlman, and I'll educate you on Tupac. Right? Because I know I've studied Tupac as much as people study Shakespeare, right? So, and to get into that, Mutai from the Outlaws and Idi Amin have already came at Jeff Pearlman for his blatant lies about Tupac, right? And his smear campaign, and this has to stop, right? Where now, then we talk about Prodigy just passed. What I love about Prodigy was that he wrote his own autobiography while he was alive, right? And that's what you have to do. Tell your story so the colonizer don't try to tell your story. That could be a black or white or Jewish or whatever colonizer try to tell your story for you, right? While you around on this earth, you tell your story. Because when you gone, they're going to try to make money off your story. They're going to try to steal your story. They're going to try to twist your story around. That's why you tell your own story while you were here. And that was something that Prodigy did that was masterful, right? And it's one of the greatest autobiographies of all time, right? Now, we are trying to debunk. We are not trying. We are going to debunk this author, right? And this author, please say, well, this author has, Stephen A. Smith has called out this author for his racism, right? Jeff Pearlman has been called out for targeting blacks. For I said Kobe Bryant, Stephen A. Smith, and now we got Tupac, as he's trying to go around acting as if he loves Tupac, as if he can educate us on Tupac. Nigga, how you gonna educate niggas on Pac? Nigga, we Pac. What are you talking about? You can't educate. That's like you trying to educate me on Malcolm X. How you gonna educate me on Malcolm X, nigga? See, and it's a shame that because some niggas don't know their own culture. It gives way for colonizers to come in and try to tell you about your story. In the words of the minister, you can't tell us about us. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't did the knowledge first. So Jeff Pearlman said that Tupac couldn't shoot a gun, right? His racist arrogance didn't even study Tupac a little bit. He didn't even study enough to know that, dog, if you go back to 1992, and this is his lack of journalism, his lack of respect, right? It's literally video footage of Tupac at the range, breaking down hollow points, shooting at targets, hitting them. What are you talking about? Yet he goes and said Tupac never shot a gun, never did none of this, never nothing. Right? This is what he's saying. Tupac also shot police officers. The Panthers were very, very pro Second Amendment, right? Tupac, after he shot the two racist police officers in Atlanta, he displayed how he did it by getting on one knee, aiming with the two hands. He wasn't just cock sideways like you see in them racist movies and niggas don't know how to shoot, right? So Pac shot down strategically like a military soldier. What you talking about? He had the revolutionary suicide shirt on by Huey Newton, right? So it's crazy. It's footage of Tupac's aunt speaking on how at Tupac's mom's house in Atlanta, he let off shots into a car. This was documented in the Hughes brother documentary, Dear Mama, right? It's footage of Shock G speaking on how when he first got Tupac his first house in L.A., how Tupac took the money and went and bought an AK, right? And shot up the couch, right? Tupac liked guns. And it doesn't take a lot of the journalism to just be able to write this book. it would take you 20 minutes of research, not even that on YouTube, to debunk half the stuff that this guy has been saying, right? And the reality is, why is he lying? So we don't know the purpose of why he's lying, but it's all kind of footage. You got Corrupt speaking on how Tupac used to fight in L.A. and you got Dave Chappelle and you got all kind of the comedy house fight right in L.A. With or the comedy club house in L.A. You know, which him and Tretch fight in the '60s. Tupac speak on that on his own self, right? Tupac and Suge was knocking niggas out. This is all documented. So when he says Tupac he never been in a fight, he never did this, he never did that. It's Big Daddy Kane. It's footage of Big Daddy Kane saying that even when he was on the road, he was fighting. Tupac fought the engineers when he was when he was on the Digital Underground, right? Tupac, Big Daddy Kane said Tupac was always fighting. In Virginia, Shot G said he couldn't stop Tupac from fighting. Tupac got into fights at the Minister Society when he got fired with the Hughes brothers. Him and Spice One. That's documented. So here again, we have a colonizer coming in trying to make money and capitalize off of Tupac, right? And they do that with Tupac because they say Afeni's dead, Afeni transitioned, right? His Matulu's gone. He was locked up anyway. So it's easier to get to Pac. With Big, it was hard because, and you notice nobody really attacks Big like that because everybody was scared of Puff. Puff still had power in the industry. Big is connected to radio in New York, right? So you mess with Big, you disrespect Big, and there's penalties to that to this day, right? But Suge went to jail, so it's easy to get Pac. So these guys are capitalizing on Pac. JT the bigger figure spoke on when they got into the fight in the Bay against Tupac and them. Right? Paul allegedly snatched Pac's herringbone, but Pac was swinging the microphone. Pac got arrested in Michigan for fighting. He had the bat on stage, swinging at a nigga in the crowd. Right? Tupac confronting the bootleggers in New York in 1990. I'm gonna watch this movie when I come back. I'm knocking you down. If he say something, I'm knocking him down too. Pac was fighting at the above the rim, right? Shootouts at the above the rim. So the real issue is, why is Jeff Pearlman lying? Why does he feel the need to try to minimize Tupac's masculinity? What is he trying to break Pac in this type of way? I don't get it. Many people have fallen into this, Tupac wasn't this, Tupac wasn't that. Right? But what does that have to do with the art anyway? Two, it's just a way for you to try to knock down a man that, many of us, you see, they don't want you to see Pac as masculine because of what Pac represented. Pac shot police officers, and a lot of black street dudes ain't never did that. So they gotta say, well, he wasn't this. And then on the other side, you got white dudes who don't want you to honor anybody or idolize anybody that shot white police officers either. You know what I mean? So it's all kind of ways to try to minimize Pac's masculinity for whatever reason, even if it was because a lot of Pac's masculinity was chaos, right? It was like just a wild nigga who was lost, who didn't have mom was on drugs, dad gone, anger. He was young. He made a lot of mistakes. So yeah, we always have these guys coming at Pac's upbringing. Pac's upbringing was raw. The Black Panthers was not weak. The Black Panthers was street dudes. I'm telling, y'all got the Black Panthers so wrong, and one day I'm gonna break it down how raw the Panthers was, because the version that y'all get of the Panthers is a clean version. The Panthers, y'all talk about stick up kids. The Panthers robbed banks. The Panthers robbed armor trucks. The Panthers robbed pimps and drug dealers. The Panthers went to war with the you know what I'm saying, with the gun. What are you talking about? So when they say, oh, Pac didn't grow up like that, Pac was raised by Panthers, what that mean? The Panthers was gangsters. The Panthers was the only black organization ever in this country to go to war with the police. Other groups ran from the police when the police came. The Panthers put the arms up, picked the arms up. You feel me? That's where Pac come from. And that's why Pac was such a threat. Because after he, shot the cops in Atlanta, right? And then he made the song where the guy in Texas ended up listening to him on Trap, where, he's talking about shooting the crooked police that try to shoot you after he was beaten by police brutality. They because see Pac as this threat, and then they dig into the files and say, oh, he's connected to all of these black militant figures from the Panthers that are political prisoners that actually are about that action, actually have shot police. Y'all talk about niggas in rap music that shot other niggas, right? And y'all say that's gangster. That's the brainwashing that has happened to the mind of the nigga, right? And when I say nigga, I'm talking Elijah Muhammad, right? The nigga, right? Until it's awakened, until the black man become awake, until the black woman become awake, he's just a nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's a mentality. That's an illness, right? But when you get that knowledge of self, that's when you come out of that. That's when you become the man. That's when you become the sister. You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say, they have you conditioned to think that putting work on your own people, that's gangster. Right? But what Pac did, what the Black Panthers did, that's not gangster. That's militant. That is gangster. Right? They got you thinking that the conscious rap ain't gangster. Right? But that's the music that they don't want to put money behind, because it militarizes niggas. They to think, to use their minds in the correct way. Right? I always say NBA YoungBoy got the kids on lock, right? He got the young niggas on lock right now, right? He could tell them to, like Pac said, it was an interview. Pac said, I got so much power right now with the young niggas, I could turn them in the audience. I could tell them to turn around in a circle and they would do it, right? And you look at these NBA YoungBoy concerts on this tour, he could do the same thing. He got their minds, but see, YoungBoy has their minds and he's playing it safe, right? He's talking about street shit. This, nigga, that. Rob this nigga. I beat that nigga ass. Talk the nigga out with my Nike shoes on. I'm a YoungBoy fan too. However, he's safe, right? He's safe. They got you thinking he's the gangster rapper. Pac was the gangster rapper because Pac was the threat to say things to make young niggas pick them arms up and think about who they aiming them at, right? To get niggas into reading books by Maya Angelou with titles in the songs like Still I Rise, right? Black Cotton. Malcolm X, Marvin Gaye used to sing to me, have been feeling like black was the thing to be. Things like this are, meet me at the cemetery dressed in black. Tonight we honor the dead, those that won't be back. And if I die, do the same for me, shed no tears. Outlaw thug living in this game for years. See what I'm saying? That's political prisoner rap that Pac was giving you. Don't tell me about no lyricism, nigga. We talking political prisoner rap. That's Pac. So Pac was a threat, and Pac was fighting until his last day when he stopped when he fought Orlando. Right? So what is this guy talking about? We have to and it's a reason that we have to fact check Jeff Pearlman. And if, everybody needs to, share this video, right? On my Twitter, I already have a thread debunking him 3 months ago when I seen this coming. I didn't know he was writing a book, but I seen him just speaking on Pac in a negative way and trying to lie. Sitting in a room full of white men talking about Pac, that, you know, nothing against white men, but these white men ain't qualified, right? Jeff Pearlman ain't qualified to speak on Pac. He wouldn't be down with the Panthers, and Pac wouldn't trust him. You get what I'm saying? So what he's doing is colonizing, and that's wait until Pac died, trying to come in and make some money. Capitalism, right? Black Cotton. We dealing with an artist that made songs like Black Cotton, right? The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I say the darker the flesh and the deeper the roots. Come on, man. Jeff Pearlman, you out of line, bro. And you speaking on the ancestors, and we're gonna have to correct you. We gotta start trying to fact check our culture. We gotta start gatekeeping our culture a little more, especially our ancestors, right? Tupac is an ancestor, right? And he put his neck on the line to say things that y'all niggas would be scared to say, and that's respectable. So we can't let Jeff Pearlman, no matter whether he was black or white, you know what I'm saying, Jewish or non-Jewish, it don't matter. The fact is that he's the way he's coming at it is colonizer style, because it only take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to pull up Tupac fights, Tupac at the gun range, Tupac shot police, Tupac went to trial for this, Tupac caught with guns in the elevator, Tupac when he got shot, even when he got robbed the 4th time, when he got shot 5 times, was reaching for the Glock. He had the 2 Glocks that Fat Joe was talking about. So what is this dude talking about? This dude don't know nothing about our culture, and he's trying to capitalize and make money off on it. And that's the issue with black culture. If this was any other race and it was a prominent figure, he would be sued. He would be getting sued, right? They would be running him up out of there. You can't do this to other groups. You can only do this to black people and black Americans at that, because we don't speak up. This guy's on Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes' podcast, teaching these niggas about Pac. How you gonna listen to this nigga about? He gonna tell you about your black historical figure. He sitting down with supposed to be street niggas at the LA podcast, and they in LA, and he schooling them on Pac. What the fuck am I watching? Excuse my language. What the hell, man? This shit is out of hand, right? The niggas with the biggest platforms, they journalism, hip hop journalism is in the damn dumpster because of this type of shit. You let the white boy come on there and say that about Pac, and you don't correct them or even push back. Like if he came in there and said, "Hey, Pac ain't never shot no gun. Pac ain't never," you say, "What do you mean Pac ain't never shot no gun? For the nigga was shooting at the range. What you say about that?" Oh see, I ain't know that. See, he can't. It's disrespectful. I'm gonna tell you. I want to be real with you. It's something the master teacher used to say all the time. Never get in front of white people and talk small talk. Never get in front of white people and talk small talk. The ones that you know, they look at you as you don't know shit, right? They come at you and say, "Hey man, how about the game last night? Hey man, what you think about some music?" Nah, nigga like me, nah, not too much of that with me. Talk to me about what you be talking about with the mother boys. Financial shit. Let's get into some politics. Let's get into something real, right? Because that's where I'm at with it, right? They come at me with that after 1 or 2 conversations about that. Nah, bro. See, you can't school me. You can't school me. I'm not saying that I can't be taught nothing, right? But you can't school me on my culture because I've already studied on my culture. That's like if I went into Asia and trying to school the Asian on his culture. You know what I mean? Not to say I can't study the Asian culture and know something, but it's just the fact of they gonna be checking me like, no. This our deity, right? And this is what he do, and this is what the Buddha do. You get my point. It's hella. The Black American is a joke sometimes because you know you getting taught, you getting educated, and this is one of the things. I know I'm getting off the point, but this is one of the things that came into when we integrated into schools. We integrated into white schools, right? We started learning education from them, learning about our historical figures from them, and now what they're trying to do, take it out to schools. And if you don't teach your own kids at the house, then you relying on teachers, white, that don't know nothing about Dr. King, don't know nothing about such and such, Sojourner Truth, and whatever, to install these black historical figures that they already supposed to know at the house into your kids, right? So Tupac is something that we all supposed to know, right? Fuck the dumb shit. This is something you supposed to know as a Black American. And if you don't, that's a problem. Your black kids supposed to know about the Commodores. I don't care. Your black kids supposed to know about Lisa Left Eye and TLC. Your black kids supposed to know about Marvin Gaye. Your black kids supposed to know about Patti LaBelle. Your black kids supposed to know about Sam Cooke. Your black kids supposed to know about Nas. Right? Your black kids supposed to know about Toni Braxton and that first album that she dropped. This part of the Black American experience, right? You can't come into my culture and school me on my culture. That's what we not gonna do, right? And when they can do that, that means you ain't studied on your own shit, right? You would the Negro pen, right? What did Dr. King say? I inherited my people into that burning house, and that's what that shit looked like. Right, when I see Jeff Pearlman kicking lies and BS on black podcasts and niggas ain't even checking them. I'm not saying check them in a violent way. I'm saying check them, call them out. What the hell? Challenge the nigga at least. Right? You saying he acting like Pac. Oh, Pac was this made up character and all. Man, Pac lived in the Bronx in the projects. Pac lived in Baltimore in the projects. Pac lived in the jungle in Mary City in the projects. What you talking about? Pac was homeless at 17. Pac got took in by Geronimo Pratt. Pac father was Legs from the Commission, his street father. What you talking about? Pac other father was Matulu Shakur. Asada Shakur was his god aunt, a god mom. Right? So what are we talking about? Crooksy. She was down with Frank Lucas. Right? That's Tupac godmom. Right? Tupac was at Asada Shakur's trial as a child. Tupac mom fought and won her own case. Tupac's embryo was in prison. Right? Seiko Odinga, right? Charged with 6 counts of attempted murder of police stemming from his defense in Sundiata and himself during a police attack 2 years earlier, right? And fought Ricos, right? With Asada. This is Yaki's father, Yaki Gaddafi's father. Tupac went to visit him. Tupac stayed in contact with him. Yaki Gaddafi, his mom, right? Jamal Joseph, Tupac's godfather, right? The Panther 21, conspiracy to commit arson and murder police officers. What we be talking about when we be talking about Pac, they got to quit these narratives, right? We got to stop these narratives, right? Watani, a black activist who has been in prison for nearly a year for refusing to cooperate with a federal grand jury, lost a bid for freedom in Los Angeles today. The case involving Tiambia stems from the holdup of a Brinks armored car in New York that left 2 police officers and a security guard dead, right? This is who Pac was running with, right? This is who Pac was running with when you see him with Khalid Muhammad, right? Tupac got shot, got raw, got shot, twisted up an L, shot up, see the cameras, put the finger up. White boy say that's acting. White boy say he acting, man. He acting. You can't see, and I'm gonna tell you because I want to end this soon, but I want to tell you the reason why he's able to do this. Because see, what happens is when you don't gatekeep your culture, or when you don't respect and check niggas who disrespect your black prominent artists, your black prominent figures, other races see that, and then they move in. The ones who want to move in and try to capitalize on that, make some money off that. Are we seeing all these people saying Tupac is an actor and all that on TikTok? What's the karate dude who be on Vlad? You know what I'm saying? Vlad say he fuck with Pac, and Vlad say he love Pac, and he love Pac so much. Yeah, he bring this karate nigga that ain't never had no fights. No. He said he can beat everybody ass, but we ain't never seen Michael Blackson. I think that's his name, Michael J. White. Michael J. White. He supposed to be this great fighter, but he ain't never had no pro fights against no pros. Right? So he talk all this crazy shit about Pac, and Vlad say he love Pac. Yet you bring him on there to disrespect Pac. So Vlad out of line too, right? Cause if you ain't gonna allow Nick Fuentes to come up there and disrespect Jews, you wouldn't allow you got into it with some of your co-workers, some of your black co-workers for defending Farrakhan. They was defending Farrakhan, and y'all fell out, right? So you don't allow people to come up there and disrespect your people. Yet you say you love Pac. Yeah, you put money in Michael J. White and other people to come on to your platform that got 1 million followers and disrespect Tupac, and you get paid off of it. That's a colonizer too. Vlad. You know, so you got to clean that up too, right? But right now we on Jeff Pearlman. Jeff Pearlman right now, that's who we on. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Pearlman. You out of line? You using Tupac's quote, "Only God can judge me." That's a famous Tupac quote. He had it tattooed on him, you know. And yet you over here just blatantly lying on Pac and trying to make money off the book, doing the hardcover and the soft cover. Man, what's wrong with this? And then you on black platforms getting paid, right? I ain't going for it, man. You know, my platform ain't the biggest right now, but I definitely had to use my platform to call out Jeff Pearlman. And if you really, really love Pac and you really, really rock with Pac, please do not go out and buy that book. That book cannot teach you nothing. If you want some real books on Tupac, I could put some in the chat, right? Because Tupac's Yaki Gaddafi mom wrote The Spirit of an Outlaw, the untold story of Tupac and Yaki. That's a real book on Pac. Right? That's a real book on Pac. I wouldn't even tell you to read Jada Pinkett's book on Pac. I wouldn't even tell you to read Jada Pinkett's book on Pac if she put it out yet. Go get that Yaki Gaddafi book on Pac. That's a good one. Right? Thug Angel. That was a decent DVD. Right? But the best one, in my opinion, is for you to listen to Tupac's music where he told his own story through his lyrics. He told his own story through his lyrics. You can listen to the goddamn lyrics. But Spirit of an Outlaw, if you got to get a book, is the one you got to get. This Only God Can Judge Me, this is colonizer madness trying to capitalize on a nigga that would have shot him in the head. You know what I mean? In real life, if he met him. We know Pac didn't play that. Pac wasn't no sucker. Pac ain't gonna let nobody just capitalize on him. And Afeni wouldn't go for that. Afeni sued Death Row right after Pac died. So he made a perfect time to, just like when Kobe died. As soon as Kobe plane helicopter crash, all of a sudden the 3 Ring Circus book drop out, and you disrespecting Kobe in the book, right? And then now it's a perfect time for you to try to capitalize on Tupac. Now that Afeni gone, Pac gone, Matulu gone, and you know, as I said, some of the outlaw members have been calling you out, but they don't have that much power. They don't have that much power to really reach you. So you're trying to just ignore them. You're trying to ignore them instead of being corrected. So you did wrong, and I hope the book flop. Right? On that note, family, we is out. Peace.